Remember when Donald Trump promised to run the country like one of his businesses? Well, he did. And much like some of his past ventures, the result feels more like a bankruptcy than a booming enterprise. When the government shuts down, it's not just political gridlock. It's worse than business as usual. We're talking missed paychecks for federal workers, stalled services, and a country that feels like it's buffering indefinitely. Republicans love to point fingers at Democrats, claiming they're the ones causing the shutdowns. But in this case, the bill they tried to push would have stripped health insurance from over 15 million Americans. That's not negotiation. That's sabotage disguised as policy. And then there's the language. Trump and his aides, some of whom have a long history of calling political opponents things like vermin and enemies, aren't just speaking off the cuff. That kind of rhetoric plants dangerous seeds. It's not politics anymore. It's something much darker. Trump's presidency has often felt like the world's longest blooper reel, broadcast live with no commercial breaks. And now, with Barack Obama and Jimmy Kimmel tag-teaming his collapse, it's no longer just a political unraveling. It's poetic comedy. On one side, Obama, calm, rational, surgical. On the other, Kimmel, merciless, quick, cutting with a grin. Together, it's like a two-man rescue mission for American sanity. Let's not forget the greatest hits, the childish nicknames, the conspiracy theories, the weird obsession with crowd sizes. It just goes on, and on, and on. The other day, someone compared Trump to that neighbor who insists on running a leaf blower outside your window every single day. Relentlessly annoying and impossible to ignore. When Kimmel starts in, it's not even a roast anymore. It's triage, an emergency laugh intervention. Trump's time in office has become a sort of open mic night audition gone wrong, except the stage is the Oval Office. The man who thought he could wing his way through global crises has now become the punchline of every late-night monologue and family dinner conversation. He vowed to drain the swamp. Instead, he built a water park with himself as the main attraction, splashing around in disarray and calling it progress. There is, oddly, a silver lining to the shutdown. According to their official website, during the closure, the FCC won't be responding to consumer complaint phone lines, which, if I'm not mistaken, means we can now say whatever we want on TV. Obama doesn't even have to raise his voice. His quiet dismantling of Trump's bluster is like watching a surgeon perform comedy with precision instruments. No shouting, no boasting, just facts lined up and left to speak for themselves. Trump's economy, built on credit and smoke. His foreign policy, a traveling circus that keeps burning down every tent it enters. Obama doesn't need a punchline. Real life already provided one. The contrast alone is exhausting enough to make history books groan. Here's a 78-year-old billionaire who hasn't stopped whining since he rode down a golden escalator 9 years ago. A non-stop barrage of complaints, grievances, and finger-pointing. And it's only getting worse now that he's actually afraid of losing. Kimmel jokes that Trump's management style is a mix of toddler tantrum and motivational seminar. Every announcement feels like a soap opera cliffhanger. Even the writers can't keep up. Trump leads like a man reading headlines for the first time. He speaks of unity while assigning blame. He talks about honesty while twisting the truth. He sells success like a late-night infomercial. Always a deal, always the best, and always somehow falling apart. The one thing he's truly consistent at? Being inconsistent, especially during the shutdowns. And here's where it gets real. To punish critics in places like New York, Trump has halted over $18 billion worth of infrastructure projects. That includes new rail tunnels under the Hudson and the 2nd Avenue subway expansion. Not because the projects aren't needed, but because he doesn't want the money going toward diversity and equity. Obama, meanwhile, just deconstructs the entire strength myth. He doesn't say Trump is weak. He just shows us what real strength actually looks like. It's calm. It's measured, it's reasoned. Trump branded himself as the ultimate alpha. But strength isn't yelling into a microphone. It's not threatening allies. It's not picking Twitter fights before breakfast. Watching Obama quietly dismantle that illusion is more powerful than any punchline, because it's not just criticism, it's exposure. In the end, Trump promised to drain the swamp. But what we got was something messier, louder, less like a cleanup, and more like a national reality show meltdown. The man who marketed himself as the prize fighter is now the prize, at the end of a long, excruciating roast. For once, reality beats reality TV, and somehow, that might be the most American twist of all.